What's good, Ravens fans? And I'm here with some sad news. Again, a lot of speculation has gone. If you guys have not heard, Patrick Queen has wiped the Ravens from social media. So a lot of people think he wants to trade. And so I've been, going on the internet. I've seen some people throwing around some trade calculations and different things like that. And this is the problem that the Ravens are having. And I've told you guys this before. You guys told me, hey, Roquan Smith got signed. Why are we still talking about Lamar? We should be happy that Roquan is signed. Let's celebrate this and that. And the reason that you don't celebrate is because Roquan is not a player that can make your team a winner. He's a good player that plays really, really well with other pieces. But he was in Chicago for, I believe, 3 to 4 years and was not able to lift that team above and beyond. He wasn't. When he was the best player on that team, he was not able to lift that team to the playoffs. He wasn't able to lift that team, right? Because he's a middle linebacker, and that's just the truth of it. The only time they made the postseason is when they had players like Khalil Mack, who are great players, right? Some all-time great players. He was good, but wasn't the best player on his team then. When he became the best player on the team, they struggled because he's just a middle linebacker. And in today's game, middle linebackers can be great, but they don't move the team forward to the playoffs. There's no team that doesn't have a great quarterback, but has a great middle linebacker that's that's Super Bowl favorites. And that's just what it is. And so when the Ravens committed to Roquan Smith, but didn't commit to Lamar Jackson, I thought that was a little weird. Now, again, sooner or later, you have to make that commitment if Lamar is just going to hold out. But I thought that you should be doing everything you can to get Lamar done first so you know how much money you're playing with, right? But again, they are experts. The issue, though, and why I bring that up, comes with Patrick Queen wanting to leave. So, some good things and some bad things, right? First thing is the most improved player on our defense was Patrick Queen. You guys can see that here. Pro Football Focus lists this out. It says Queen has flashed at times throughout his 3-year career in Baltimore, but the consistency just wasn't there. While he was still a little up and down for the Ravens this season, we also saw the longest stretch of improved play. After improving his PFF grade from 29.7, Jesus, guys, that's terrible, to 43.5, which is also terrible, from 2020 to 2021, Queen once again saw a huge jump in 2022, including career highs in PFF run defense grade 64 and PFF coverage grade of 65. So 69 guys and PFF is an average guy player, right? So they're still calling him average, but he's close to good. So a 70 to 80 is good, 80 to 90 is like great, and then 90 to 100 is like MVP level, right? Again, though, and I mentioned this to just talk about the problem that the Ravens are going to have. If you lose Patrick Queen, even though I think he played better than this, if you lose him, you take a step back, guys. You take a step back. Patrick Queen, guys, he is the type of player that, though he's not the best player, he works perfectly with Roquan. Perfectly with Roquan. And without him, the signing of Roquan loses a little steam, to be 100% honest. It's not as good of an off-season signing as we wanted it to be, right? Unless we find another middle linebacker. But again, in today's league, it's hard to find middle linebackers because the position has been so devalued, right? Just think about the running back position, right? There are a lot of good running backs, but 10 years ago, it was easy to find a running back that can carry the ball 25 times a game and still have great explosive ability. In today's league, you can't do that because we don't even look for that. We don't want that. And so when you don't want it, you're not looking for it, kids growing up aren't going to be doing that, right? So then you lose that kind of ability over time. And so same things happen to middle linebackers where when we made middle linebackers have to be a little bit leaner, right, because they had to move around and cover Travis Kelce, well, then they became more like, Patrick Queen, where Patrick Queen's not a thumper at all, but he can go sideline to sideline. However, the run game is less emphasized than ever, and it's just hard for a middle linebacker who has to still be able to thump a little bit to be able to do all the great things you need him to do as well. So it's hard to find that guy. We have two of them, in my opinion. I think Patrick Queen is great. I think he played much better than the numbers suggest. And I think Roquan Smith is really great, and I think he played really well. We need them two together, though. That is what unlocks the defense, them playing together at a high level. That's what makes the defense great, in my opinion, along with the other pieces that we have. If you can't throw across the middle because of those two, and then it's hard to throw deep because of Marcus Williams, and then you got Kyle Hamilton doing his X thing, and then you got two great cornerbacks, how do you win, right? How do you get those crazy yards on us other than one-on-one, winning, right? Which happens to us sometimes, but that's the only way. However, if you don't have Lamar Jackson, you don't have Patrick Queen, you're an average team. And the fact that he doesn't want to be here is really scary. I'm nervous about it. I hope the Ravens do not trade him. The Ravens, they believe the same thing that a lot of teams believe, that you don't want hostages, you want volunteers. However, in this situation, we might need a hostage because we can't just keep letting these good players go, right? I get Orlando Brown didn't want to play. Well, then you say to Orlando Brown Jr., sorry, bro, then you're not playing. We want you here. We think you are a top quality player. We will pay you. And if we don't pay you, you can go to another team after your contract is up. But we are not letting you go for nothing, right? For a third round pick or a second round pick, whatever we got. We're not doing that. And the Ravens did that. Okay? Again, Hollywood Brown was traded for Tyler Linderbaum, so I'm not mad at that as much, but we just can't let these players go for nothing, in my opinion. So it's sad that he wants to go. I hope they can resolve it. He probably just wants a new contract because he's looking around too. Everyone's looking around. He's looking around like, wait a minute. Roquan just got big money. Okay. Lamar might get big money. Okay, interesting. Sooner or later, you're going to have to pay J.K. Now, he's a running back, so it might not be big money. You're going to have to bring a receiver on if you want to be competitive. That's big money. Where my money at, right? I mean, sooner or later, he's going to say, where's my money at? And he's saying it right now. So, again, I'm super happy that he's the most improved player from this here, but it's also important to me that we are able to be competitive. And half of the usefulness of Patrick Queen is Roquan Smith, and 1/3 of the usefulness of Roquan Smith is Patrick Queen. And we have to have them both together, I think, if we want to be a dominant defense, in my opinion. So you guys let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think we should just keep Patrick Queen? Should we just give him a new contract? But again, money is not infinite in the NFL, so it's getting a little tough for us, guys. So you please, you let me know in the comments below. Thanks. Go Ravens.